What's good, folks? Reds here. We're going to do a different kind of video today. We're going to do an impressions video, and it's going to be from a noob's perspective. Many of you know I almost exclusively use synthetic brushes, but in the past and currently I've been fortunate enough to be loaned some pretty high-end premium Badger brushes, which I kind of play around with and try to understand what the love and hype is surrounding them. So today I'm going to give you some impressions on this. This is the Declaration Grooming B3, which stands for Batch 3 Hair Jefferson. This is on loan to me from a good friend in the wet shaving community. Many of you know Declaration Grooming does their own hand tying of the Badger knots, and they do hand turn their own handles out of their new home in Morenci, Michigan. Scott was my 2017 Artisan of the Year because he also makes damn good soap in addition to these world-class brushes. These run anywhere from I think it's $209 to $279 depending on size of the knot, handle, and handle material, and how many were made. So link below will be for his website. He also has a little bit of information on how he handles his brush orders. I don't believe he does any customs anymore. I think it's all first come first serve as he posts handles, but check out the information so you're current on how to acquire one of these if you so please. We will talk about the density of the knot and then also the face feel of the knot, and I will attempt to compare it to the three most recent Badgers I've used, which would be the Simpson Chubby 3 Manchurian, the Paladin with a blonde Badger hand tied by Sabini, as well as a 26mm Stirling Finest Badger that I bought off of BST a little while ago. Alright, so the first thing we're going to talk about here is the density of the brush. I've had it soaking in water. As you can see, it's still got quite a bit of water in it. Shake it out there. You can see the knot itself is extremely dense. In my limited experience, I would say this is at least as dense as the 30mm Simpson Chubby 3 Manchurian I tried, and definitely more dense than the Paladin and the Stirling I tried, both which came in at 26mm. This is 27mm if I didn't mention it earlier. The density, from what I understand, is quite desired by the people that use animal hair, or badgers I should say, often. As a new user of the product, of the hardware, I do find that the density prohibits the lather from coming out of the brush easily for me, so I think they call it lather hogging. I think that would probably correct itself with practice and familiarity with the knot, but for right now the density is a positive, I think, for experienced people, and perhaps a negative, or at least a learning curve for folks like me who are relatively inexperienced. Alright, so the face feel on this brush is absolutely stunning. The brush feels like a giant pillow that's pretty firm, covered with a suede cover just rolling across your face. It's really luxurious feeling, and it really, I quite understand the pros of using this type of a premium Badger knot as opposed to synthetic and even boar. While I do find synthetics are as soft, they don't have that pillowy feeling. At least none I've ever tried have this kind of pillowy feeling that the the Declaration 27mm does. Comparing this with the other two brushes, or three brushes I should say, that I'm semi-familiar with, I would say that the face feel on this is better than the Stirling for sure, better than the Simpson Chubby 3 Manchurian by a little bit, and probably falls just short of that Paladin in terms of luxury feeling on my face. By no means is that a knock. I know there's plenty of people that enjoy these more, but for my taste, I think the Paladin's just a bit softer, and from conversation I assume that has to do with the density of this knot versus the Paladin. Alright folks, we're back. I just want to show you real quick the volume of lather that's still left in this brush after a 2-pass face shave and a full dome shave. As you can see, it just kept building more lather for me. Got the brush washed out now. So final thoughts. I'd be remiss to spend my own $249 or so on a brush like this, simply because I don't have the appreciation for them like so many people do. Similarly, I wouldn't spend $75 on a bottle of bourbon when I could get one for $40, because I just can't tell the difference. I don't have that fine a palette for these in order to really distinguish the elite level quality to the very good quality to the good quality. I do understand and absolutely appreciate the art behind this brush and these types of brushes, and I can see why so many people have a affinity for these and go after them like crazy. The secondary market for these brushes is absolutely booming right now. And if anything, it's worth buying. This is a American-made product, hand-tied in America, hand-turned in America, and sold in America. So that's a huge plus for quite a few people. And if I was to spend that kind of money, this would be the brush I would go after, simply for those facts. As always, thumbs up the video if you like it. Comment below if you have anything to say. And if you're not already a subscriber, please become one. See ya.